WRXP-FM, New York, 1019 RXP, anything. I think I'm Rich Russo. Dire Straits with Solid Rockin'. Dire Straits in the mid-'80s had a huge hit, a song called Money for Nothing.
Love that one.
Although featured a slur to homosexuals, it really didn't cause much controversy. But now in recent tragedies of the bullying of those for their sexual orientation, coupled with the Kobe Bryant and Roger McDowell sports incidents of using that term, which has resulted in fines and suspensions, we now have a controversy brewing over the repeated use of the term, and other things by rapper Tyler, the Creator. And we tried to get Sara Quin of Tegan and Sara on the show tonight to discuss her post about it. She posted something on their website, and she's actually on a plane, so we couldn't get her. And we're going to ask DMC's feelings about it right now. But since Sara wasn't here to read it, I'm actually going to read her post that is viewable on TeganandSara.com. But let me read this. The post is called A Call for Change. When will misogynistic and homophobic ranting and raving result in meaningful repercussions in the entertainment industry? When will they be treated with the same seriousness as racist and anti-Semitic offenses? Why an artist who can barely get a sentence fragment out without using homophobic slurs is celebrated on the cover of every magazine, blog, and newspaper. I'm disheartened that any self-respecting human being could stand in support with a message so vile. As journalists and colleagues defend, excuse, and congratulate Tyler, the Creator, I find it impossible not to comment. In any other industry, would I be expected to tolerate, overlook, and find deeper meaning in the kid's sickening rhetoric? Why should I care about his music or his brilliance, in quotes? When the message is so repulsive and irresponsible, there is so much that upsets me in this world, and this certainly isn't the first time I've drafted an open letter of complaint. But in the past, I found an opinion, some like-minded commentary that let me rest assured that my outrage, my voice had been accounted for, but not this time. If any of the band's records who were held in similar esteem as Goblin had lyrics littered with rape fantasies and slurs, would they be labeled hate mongers? I realize I could ask that question of dozens of other artists, but is Tyler exempt because people are afraid of the backlash, the inevitable claim that the detractors are being racist, or the brush off of not getting it would indicate that you're old, or in parentheses, the homophobic slur? Because the more I think about it, the more I think people don't actually want to go up against this particular bully because he's popular. Who sticks up for women and gay people now? It seems entirely uncool to do so in the indie rock world, and I will argue that point with anyone. No genre is without its controversial or offensive characters. I am not naive. I've asked myself 1,000 times, why is this pushing me over the edge? Maybe it's the access to him, his grotesque Twitter, etc. Maybe it's because I'm a human being, both a girl and a lesbian. Maybe it's because my mom has spent her entire adult life working with teenage girls who were victims of sexual assault. Maybe it's because in this case, I don't think race or class actually has anything to do with this hateful message, but has everything to do with why everyone refuses to admonish him for that message. It's not without great hesitation and hand-wringing that I enter into discourse about Tyler, the media who glorifies and excuses misogyny and homophobia, and the community of artists that don't seem remotely bothered by it. I can only hope that someone reading this right now might be inspired to speak out, and at the very least, I will know that my voice is on record. Sara Quin. We're here with DMC. What's your take on this?
That's really, really deep. Well, I mean, I guess that was really deep that she said all of that. Now, first of all, there's a lot of, I can never critique another person's creativity. You know, for me, this isn't about freedom of speech, and it isn't about censorship, neither. But it's about responsibility. At the end of the day, it's about responsibility, the power that music has. I always say music is more powerful than politics and religion combined. I believe that because it's coming from a place of truth. It's coming from a place of emotion and reality. Now, this is what I think should happen with these words that people don't want to use. The music, the musicians, the artists, everybody involved within a culture. Everybody was talking about the N-word a couple of years ago. You know, it was a big thing with what Imus did, and, you know, rappers using N-word. I said this, and the guy was like, yo, D, then why don't we do that? I said, we have enough power to annihilate the use of words that people get upset over. For instance, I said, this is what we should do. All the hip-hoppers, Jay-Z, Puffy, Russo, Run DMC, Eminem, Mobb Deep, all the rappers should get together and we should write a document that says Nobody ever can use the N-word again. Not the politicians, not teachers, not lawmakers. The rappers. The hip-hoppers, the guy, Africa Bambaataa got to be there. Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel got to be there. We go into a room and we write out a document that says nobody could ever use this N-word again. And we take it and we hang it in the Capitol in Washington, D.C. so that 10 years from now, our sons, daughters, and grandchildren walk in there and say, do you know what my great-grandfathers did? Do you know what hip-hop did? Or do you know what rock did when people got upset over these words? We have the power to do it. Let's stop complaining. We know these words hurt people, so let's end it. For me, the most gangster, powerful thing to do is to make a record that's going to have an impact without profanity. I got people that say, man, the most gangster MF thing I MF see was Run DMC and MF and Jam Master Jay come to the MF Coliseum and rock 2 MF hours without cursing. That's powerful. So what we need to do, the cultures involved, and I'm talking about when I say the cultures, not just the artists and the industry, the people who live these lives. If it's upsetting people, make a record and talking about those certain things, those certain conditions that live without using a word that offends people. If you listen to Mary Mary. Mary Mary was a creative way of writing a record about a crack smoking, sucking, promiscuous H word, but we did it in a creative way. So if you listen to Mary Mary, oh, it's good and the music good, but if you listen to what we're saying, oh, I know what they're talking about. So my thing is this: the artists and the communities and the people involved in the culture have the power to utilize creativity and innovation in other ways. Like me, I can't be saying, put it like this, it's wrong, if it's wrong, it's wrong. But I can't judge, I can't say what goes into another person's creativity. I know I could do powerful things without offending people and still be dope. So that's how I look at it.
What was D for Never Dirty and what MC for Mostly Clean, right?
I should have said Mr. Clean though. Now when I look at the niggas, he must be a little bit dirty. But I mean, you know, these words, things in society offend people, and for me, with music, it's a little different because you get a lot of rappers that when you say, you know, yo, you doing wrong, and you know, your images and your concepts and the words you use is wrong, they do this excuse. And this is where I get pissed off. They go, man, nobody talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis when they make action movies. I say that's different. Those are movies. That's an actor. When you step, I'm talking about hip-hop. When you step to the microphone in hip-hop, to get behind that mic and say you down with hip-hop, automatically you are responsible. I remember when Raising Hell was the biggest thing on the face of the earth. Biggest thing on the face of the earth. Where he's going from city to city, town to town on a tour bus. Detroit, Philadelphia, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, LA. Everybody had on Gazelle glasses. The Run DMC had the big gold chain, the Adidas suits, Adidas with no laces. You would think me and Run and Jay looked out the back of that bus window and go, man, we gonna get paid. Me, Run, and Jay sat down in the back of the bus, took a big breath like, whoa, yo, we gotta watch what we say. That was our whole key. Watch what we say, because we have a responsibility when you step to that microphone. That's all I gotta say. You have a responsibility to be responsible.
1019 RXP, anything we hear with Daryl DMC McDaniels, great stuff. And I agree with, you know, Sara, and I agree with you on that it hurts people. Yeah. Why do it? I mean, especially with all this stuff's going on. Why? You don't need to do it. If you're that good and that creative, you can do it without doing that stuff, and it's pretty bad. Anyway, since we just talked about Tegan and Sara, and I just read Sara's post that you can read at teganandsara.com, let's do something by them off the Sainthood album. This is called North Shore, 1019 RXP, anything.
Yeah. I wanted you to say something about that.